What is happening, sports fans? It's your man, Matt from the TFS 5-Pack. I am rocking it solo. It is Friday, July 22nd. We're back from the All-Star break. Hopefully everyone had a great few days off. Light double slate yesterday. Had 3 games in the afternoon, couple games at night. Wasn't very appealing. We got a full slate back tonight, so excited to get on here and break this down for you guys. Before I get after that, I'm going to shout out our promoter real quick, ABC Islands. If you don't know about them yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. The link and the promo code will be in the description section. As I've mentioned numerous times, we've had a ton of people go on there and win money. No reason why you can't be the next. Go check out the description section of the video, find the link and the promo code. I would appreciate it, and I think you will really enjoy signing up. That said, we have 13 games to talk over tonight, so let's get after it. First, pull up the weather, which I'm not done. I don't think there's anything, but just make sure. Yeah, nothing. Looks like it's pretty good all over. Summer's here, so nice hitting weather in most spots. Fun slate to talk over. As far as pitching options go, 2 best options by far are Scherzer and Burns. I think Burns is the top guy, just given the matchups. He's at home against the Rockies, while Scherzer's at home against San Diego. Obviously, San Diego's got a much better offense. They're the 2 top pitchers on the slate, though, and if you can make it work, I think pairing both of them makes sense. Logan Webb, not interested in that pivot. Basically the same price point, much tougher spot. Yu Darvish, similar as Logan Webb. I just much prefer Scherzer and Burns. It's no surprise. I view Gausman in a similar boat. I'd probably get to Gausman over Darvish or Webb, but tough to get there over the top 2 guys. Ohtani, we start talking. I never really like using righties in Atlanta, but Ohtani's not getting much love, and we know he's really, really good. So actually, he is getting a decent amount of love. It looks like him, Morton, Burns, and Scherzer are the guys picking up all the ownership. So I guess in tournaments, that has me slightly interested in Gausman. Hasn't been amazing this year, but he's had some really good starts, including against Boston on the 27th of June. Probably not where I land, but not the worst call in tournaments. Back to Ohtani. Yeah, he's really good. Not the easiest spot in the world, but given his price point and his talent level, certainly understand why he's getting a lot of love. Tyler Anderson, no thanks for me there. Morton on the other side of Ohtani here. Yeah, he makes sense. Not having his finest year, but has been good from a DFS perspective. Outside of that Mets start, was coming off 2 really good starts in a row. The Angels are not good. I understand why he is getting love. I much prefer Burns and Scherzer, though. So if you can make it work with the top guys, that's where I'm going to be going. After that, the next guy I'm really looking at, not really looking at Eovaldi, Taillon, or Keaney. Geolito at 7,800. He's been pretty good lately. No reason he should be under 8K. I don't like the matchup, but if you want to spend down a little bit, I think the Giolito Gallons range is where I'm looking. Gallon, 4 straight mass starts, but we know the upside's real here. I'm a huge Gallon fan. Could be in a lot worse spots than at home against the Nationals. That's all I'll say. That said, they don't strike out a ton, so I'm not racing to get here either. Braxton Garrett, he was really good in this same matchup last time out. Now in Pittsburgh, I hesitate to go right back there. You could do worse, but not where I'm going to land. Irvin, no. Rasmussen, nah. Just not the slate for him with so many good pitching options. Steele, same thing. Quantrill, no. If I'm spending down, I think it's Kyle Gibson. 2 really good starts in a row. Big-time hitting weather in Philly. So I do have some serious reservations about getting to Gibson, but under 7K, I understand it. Wells, no thanks. Thompson, no. Keller, no. Marco, no. Corbin, probably going to get lit up, but he's really cheap. Going back to a place he's familiar pitching. Arizona is also not the best lineup in the world. So I think you can make a case for Corbin, but probably not the slate I want to do it. Senzatella, no. And then Spencer Howard. If there was ever a spot for him to pitch well, this is it. Just too much opportunity cost with so many other good pitchers on the slate. I can't do it personally. If you use Burns and Scherzer, you have almost 3,700 left. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do like a 5-man expensive stack, but there's certainly ways to make it work. There's offenses I like to make it work. So these are my 2 top pitchers. I don't think that's coming as a surprise to anyone. All right, from the catcher position, looks like Carson Kelly is going to be the chalky catcher, and he makes a lot of sense facing Corbin. Might be leading off here. Good against lefties. Started off the season really slow, but has been good for the past, month or so. He's definitely the optimal catcher today, quite a bit. There's a lot to like about him here, I should say. After that, Real Mito, if you want to spend up at a catcher, looks good against Steele. Kirk is always a good option hitting in the middle of that Blue Jays lineup. Sean Murphy had a nice day yesterday in the second game. Spencer Howard hasn't been good. I don't hate using pieces of Oakland. Also don't hate the Yankees, so Trevino or Higashioka, either of those guys. The Tampa backstop against Keller. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see when lineups come out to really solidify it, but catcher's not glorious today. It hardly ever is, and today is no exception. I think Kelly's the guy you just lock in your cash game lineups as of right now, at least. All right, first base. Much deeper position than catcher. Looks like ownership's pretty split here with a couple cheaper guys getting most of the love. Christian Walker at 3,500, and I get that. Facing Corbin at this price point makes a lot of sense. And then Garrett Cooper at 2,300 against Zach Thompson. I'm not excited about it, but he's 2,300 and he's having a pretty good year. So cash games, those guys make a lot of sense. I also like Rowdy Tellez a lot. The Brewers are a team that sticks out to me for sure. Senzatella is not very good. So Tellez and that Brewer stacker just as a one-off at under 4K, I like. Also like the Yankees here. They're the Yankees. What's not to like? Rizzo, if you're stacking the Yankees, or even if you're not, he looks good here. LeMahieu as well, same breath. After that, I think you can look at Seattle for a couple cheaper bats too. I'm not afraid of Urquidy at all. Carlos Santana, seems to have found the fountain of youth in Seattle. Don't mind him at all. Jaron Ruff against Tyler Anderson, and then Seth Brown. 34 DK points over the last 3 games, hitting in the middle of this Oakland lineup against Spencer Howard. I think you could do worse. A lot worse. Especially with Garrett Cooper, presumably being the most popular first baseman on the slate. All right, second base. Tampa's in a good spot today against Brad Keller, and Brandon Lau, who I've been on the past couple games since he's come back, is going to be the most popular 2B on the slate. He looks good. He's too cheap at 4,300 against Keller. I think in cash games, you just lock him in and move on, and you're more than fine playing him in tournaments as well. In tournaments, I also like Ketel Marte against Corbin. Gleyber Torres in that Yankee stack for sure. Definitely like the Milwaukee guys, Colton Wong, and then Julio Urias, or is he not even? Urias might not even be here. Oh yeah, Luis Urias, not Julio, not the Dodgers pitcher, the Milwaukee second base / third baseman. Urias and Wong, definitely on my short list here, like for sure. Joey Wendell leading off at 3,200. I think you could do a lot worse than rock him there. Buddy Kennedy, we'll see where he lands in the order, but second baseman at 2,400 might be viable. All right, third base. Interesting that Devers is getting a lot of love here. He's really good, but I have no interest in picking Gausman personally. Machado has always had a propensity to hit good pitching, so if I had to pick one sneaky guy to homer tonight, it would be Machado. That said, I'm not going to use him. Scherzer, for the most part, dominates righties, so take that with a heavy grain of salt, I should say. Bregman against the lefty, he looks solid here. I think Houston might go a little bit under-owned. I like Urias in that Milwaukee stack for sure. Yoan Moncada hitting at the top of this White Sox lineup now. It's gotten hot recently. Check the game log, 9+ in 4 straight. Double digits in 3 of those games. Like him quite a bit here. I think the White Sox, I usually don't like using them against righties, I should say, but I don't think Quantrill is very good. They're not getting love. The more the day goes on, the more interest I have in Chicago, I think, especially with Moncada getting hot. It's a big boost to their lineup. Brian Anderson in the Miami stack, he makes some sense. And then Longoria, he homered last night right next to Moncada. Always good against lefties. So cheap price point, no issues there. All right, shortstop. Unfortunately, it looks like my favorite play is going to be the highest owned shortstop on the slate. And Willie Adames, he's just way too cheap. I mean, we've seen him over 5K a bunch recently. Like, he's good. He's my favorite shortstop on the slate, like, for sure. Texas is a little bit intriguing. I don't have that much respect for Irvin. I like Tim Anderson. Mention the White Sox. He's right at the top of that list. If you're stacking the Jays, then you're liking Bo Bichette here. Jeremy Pena in the Astros stack, no issues there. I do think Adames stands out, though, as the clear guy for sure. I mentioned the Yankees. Kiner Falefa is a nice cheap piece you can fit in there, so don't mind him at all. Shortstop is pretty weak today, actually. I see Bobby Witt getting some love. He's just a power speed upside. He's got a power speed upside machine, I should say. So I get why he's getting love. Probably not where I go, but I get it. I'm probably narrowing in on Adames. Tim Anderson is up right now, at least. Then if you need a cheap guy, Perdomo from the Diamondbacks. They're getting love. He should be in the lineup. He's not very good, but he's cheap in a good spot. So that's about all I have to say about him. All right, outfield loaded as always because there's so many guys. Judge is getting a lot of love. Great spot for him against Wells. Homered last night. He's expensive, but if you can find a way to make it work, I suggest you do that. And a way to do that is pairing him with Jordan Luplow, 2,700. Should have a good spot in the batting order against a lefty tonight. He looks very good here. The Marlins are getting love. Soler hasn't been good lately, but he's getting a good amount of love. So proceed with caution, I guess is the best way to put it there. A couple Cubs guys getting some love here. Rafael Ortega leading off, 4K, and then Ian Happ, 4,100. Ortega, I was looking at the wrong Ortega. He's 2,900. Rafael Ortega. I knew something was wrong there. 2,900 for him, 41 for Happ. Those guys look good. I like Castellanos tonight. Against a lefty here. I think Philly is a team that you can certainly get some exposure to in both formats, or in all formats, excuse me. And then in the tournament side, I mentioned it, the Brewers and White Sox, 2 teams I like quite a bit here. If I were building right now, I think I'd go heavy there. Philly is also a team I like. So, fun slate tonight. Bunch of good pitchers, bunch of good hitting spots out there. So, should be a fun one to play. Hopefully, everyone has is a good rest of their Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Let's crush this MLB slate. If you want more info or more content, more videos, more write-up, any of that stuff, go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. I'm around this afternoon if you guys have any questions. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the flip side.